I've now downloaded 4 files, 2 shapefiles, which I've opened up, a tabular CSV file, and a GeoJSON file. If you're familiar with QGIS or another GIS application, you know already that you can drop one of these files directly into QGIS, see how the points are laid out, and use the Identify tool to see information about that file. For a shapefile, unzip it, drag the shapefile into here, and you'll be able to browse it as well. If you send someone a shapefile, don't just send the SHP, include all these other accompanying files, because some of them, such as DBF, have the data table that goes with that shape. Inside the terminal, I have 3 things that I'd like to show you. One of them is a Postgres database, which I'm running locally, but you could have a cloud GIS database running if you have it set up somewhere. Here I've used the Postgres client to connect to my local database. If you had the cloud version, you could have your connection details here. And the first thing that I'm going to do is make sure that PostGIS is installed correctly. So I'll run create extension PostGIS, semicolon to close. And the first time you do this, it'll install everything, and every time after that, it'll just tell you it already exists. This is the downloads folder where my files are, and you'll remember that my Fiji admin stuff is inside this FGI area. So the command for opening that is shape to PGSQL. This is the full path to the .shp file, and I'm going to create some SQL commands in this admin.sql file. Then I'm going to run this PSQL client to connect to the Fiji database and import the table using those commands that I just created. Once that's finished running, inside the database, I can run \dt, and I'll see that that table was created. Select count from the table. I'll see there are 86 these admin areas that were imported. You might say, oh, I want to look at the table more directly. Let's take the first one, and it'll return this empty space. That's because the geometry has this binary, is stored as this binary blob, which makes it more difficult to view directly through something like this. If you have something like pgadmin, it might be easier for you to view these files. Just so you don't worry about the data being entirely empty, I'll just show you that admin3 name can select a bunch of them like this. The other file that we can try to import is health.csv. Make sure that you have csvkit installed before you do this. Then I have a command csvsql. I'm going to give it the connection string to my local database. I'm going to tell it health.csv is the tabular data, and then I'm going to include this insert command. So it's going to automatically create the table with the different columns and formats, and it's going to insert the data as well. And one thing I'll mention about this is once you get into multiple gigabytes of tabular data, this can get messed up because it's going to be trying to load the entire CSV into memory to do the column naming. So in that case, you could use the /copy command, but I'm not going to get into that right now. All right, so I run csvkit's csvsql command. Here I do \dt again. I kept the first row from health, and I can see some health data that it's created here. The two columns that are interesting to me as a geospatial developer are X and Y. Remember that X, going from left to right, is longitude, and Y, going up and down, is the latitude. So I'm going to alter table health, add column point, and the type is geography. This is a special type that PostGIS understands. I'm going to update health, set point, st make point, X and Y. So this longitude, latitude format is what's expected by PostGIS to make these kinds of points. Now, we saw that the first row here did not have an X and Y set, but the rest of them probably do. Let me just double check. So select count from health point is null, and there's 15 of them that are null and 26 of them that are not null. So what you might do, if this is a mission critical project, is go back through and correct the items where the point is null. And just grab the name column where point is null and try to insert the latitude and longitude values before running this again.